Unless the Soul Squad. Hi.
Hello.
We're just discussing what the plan is for the rest of the week.
We're like, what's the plan? What's the plan? Hello, happy peak of the week. Cheryl and Donna with you, keeping it real. Cheryl looks tired today.
I'm extremely tired.
For being a puppy mummy.
We're not nudging the puppy. Puppy's currently asleep now.
Yeah, you don't get to see the puppy today. Sorry, people. No. Sorry, but if you check out our stories late, I'm sure there'll be the odd little cutesy pick on for you. So yes, we're very excited today. We're looking forward to, we're doing a big mental resilience workshop tomorrow with DFS, which is really exciting. So Cheryl and I are doing some last minute preparation for that this afternoon. And we've got our Real You calling, haven't we, with our soul sisters? With our soul sisters. So when you work with us for 6 months as one of the soul sisters, we run several coaching sessions a month so that everybody gets a chance to be coached and to observe and witness other people being coached. So it's some of our favorite work that we do in the month.
We have an elite group today that we've got at 1 o'clock.
Oh, it's the elite one. Mm-hmm. Yes. The elite. I mean, that doesn't that just sound fabulous? The elite soul sisters. So yes, we're with the Real You elite at 1 o'clock. And then no, but it's tonight, isn't it? We've got the Real You group tonight.
Real You online group tonight, yes, and the Real You elite group at 1.
Honestly, it's all about the Real You. All about the Real You. Last night was amazing as well. It was the Bounce Back Ability Boot Camp week 2. And we went over 3 more mental resilience lessons last night. And I think there was a lot of aha moments, wasn't there, Cheryl? There was a lot of real epiphanies because we're talking about a subject that doesn't sound sexy, but actually it's a massive energy drain if you're spending a lot of time in that zone. And that zone is judgment.
Absolutely. Well, judgment mixed with expectations of other people. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of combined, which is why we do them together. But there was loads of epiphanies and aha moments from people who now could understand what was happening in some of their relationships that weren't working out.
Absolutely.
I know the sound, but I've snapped my headphones yesterday, so I haven't even got them to put in.
Oh.
Open them. You'll have to deal with the sound issues.
It's all right when you're in the sitting room because there's stuff to absorb. It's when you're in the kitchen, it's very like echoey. Yeah. So yes, judgment. So what about you guys on here today? Like, do you find yourself often gossiping and like being in that zone of feeling like you're righteous and that you know more than other people, or that you just don't like them, or they don't work as hard as you? Would love to know. I'm really curious about it. Equally, what a lot of people were saying were they don't like it when other people are judgmental, which comes up a lot, doesn't it? It's like we don't like their values, or we think that our values are the right values and their values aren't the right values. But it's like drawing the dots that actually is still judgment. That is still you have an opinion, that your opinion is the right opinion.
Basically, if you think you're right and someone else is wrong, you're judging them.
Absolutely, which, trust me, blew my mind for many years. Hi, ladies. Hey, Louise. I listened to your advice last night and wrote down this morning the one thing I had to complete today and 3 parts to it and focusing on that. I'm really excited to see like what comes from that as well, which is amazing. And but that wasn't, so that's kind of what we've been up to. Obviously Cheryl's been like very, very busy getting puppy sorted. We've just had a delivery. The baby gates just arrived for Gabby's den when that gets built, hopefully next week. We're going to do it this week, but because we've got so many calls in, I couldn't have the builders in as well because there's like literally nowhere to go. Can't go to Cheryl's. I could have gotten to my mum's house, but she's having new windows fitted, so it's like builders will have to come next week. So today we want to talk to you about life. And it's
we were talking about this last night as well on the vulnerability, because life, somebody was on one of the calls, I don't know which call it was saying how they would like their life to be like that in their business rather than be like this. Or just like that.
Yeah.
With a little bump.
Yeah. And that's kind of not life, right? So there's always going to be what we call contrast. And the reason I was thinking about this actually when I wrote this post was, like say if you look on platforms like LinkedIn, for example, not so much on Facebook because people just tend to show you pictures of the dogs and stuff, which is fine. But on LinkedIn, like there's so many people that have been looking for jobs for a long time, that have been laid off as part of COVID, that their businesses aren't doing well. There's kind of a lot on there at the moment. And Neil, don't know if you can hear him in the background, but he's, you know, he was told, was it 2 weeks ago now, Cheryl? You know, like, that's it, you know, job's not there, letting you go kind of thing, after 5 months of being on furlough. And let's be frank, it fucking sucks. Like, nobody like goes, woohoo, brilliant, I got to look for another job. Like, rarely does that happen. And I always think it's a little bit like breaking up, it's a little bit like divorce. Like, as much as the person I was married to, you know, no judgment, but he, you know, he wasn't someone I would have chosen to be married to with hindsight. But at the time, even when I found out he was having another affair and I knew I was going to go through a divorce, there's still that instinct in you that wants to win and wants to make sure that that doesn't happen, that you don't feel it. Like, I just saw divorce as like failing. That was in my mindset at the time in my 20s. I was like, I failed if I get divorced. You know, nobody in my family's divorced. Like, this is terrible. Da, 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 da. And I think sometimes when you, even if you got a job, even if you didn't like your job that much, if you're being told that you're not good enough or you're being let go. I know Mel Hare spoke about this beautifully a few months ago when we had a conversation, interview, lunchtime chat with her about like how that feels to be told that either, you know, you're being let go or you're being made redundant. Cheryl and I have been made redundant more times than you lot have probably had hot dinners. Like, between we could write the handbook on redundancy. So we get that sometimes it really fucking sucks. And what we're not going to do is come on here and say, you know, that it shouldn't suck, because it's natural that you're going to have like news that doesn't feel good.
Oh God. But this is about why we're doing the Bounce Back Ability Camp, because it's about letting it suck, admitting it sucks, process the fact it sucks, and then doing something to get you out of the sucky mood, out of that victim, why is this happening to me level, which we all drop down to. Like, woe is me. Like, I can't believe this has happened to me again. I've been made redundant, blah, 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 blah. Like, whatever it is, then we just have to think, right, okay, we've spent some time in there. What can we now do to move forwards?
Yeah.
You don't want to stay there. It doesn't feel good. It
doesn't feel good. One of the girls commented on this. This is my post today on Facebook and stuff. And somebody commented straight away saying, like, I really needed to hear this today. And that's exactly how I feel. And I mean, I know from personal experience, when you have bad news, you know, I always think, I mean, this time not so much, but the time when me and Cheryl had long started the business, and the business that Neil was working in, we just had Christmas. It was quite lean. You know, we didn't have loads and loads of clients like we do now. And it was just after Christmas. It wasn't long after Christmas. And Neil walked in and basically his company had like closed. They weren't getting paid. They weren't, like, that was it. And I remember saying, like, now if Cheryl had turned around to me at that point and went, don't worry, this is happening for you, think of the positive, I probably would have throw punched her, because at the time, that's not, like, you're allowed to have your feelings. And if straight away you're going, I have to think positive, like, it's allowed for it to be, like, not good for a little while. I always remember listening to, I can't remember in which Brené Brown book this is in, but she basically, somebody will know, it might be Dare to Lead, but she's, they have this big thing when the kids pass out of high school where, I don't know what it's called or anything like that, but like a daughter, like they do like a march around the football pitch and the mums join in. So there's this big conference had come up for her and she said, yes, I'll go and do the conference. But she was saying to my daughter, oh, I know, but it's the same day. And they're like, don't be daft, it's okay. Like, you'll be back in plenty of time for the night time. So she goes and does this conference and gets to the airport to fly back to do her daughter's parade thing, this big thing. It's like the only thing the mums get involved in by the sounds of it. And flight cancelled. She's at the other end of the country, can't get home. So she said, you obviously go through that period of this can't happen. You get on the phone, and she's with her PA, her assistant, and they're like, you know, and her assistant breaks the news to her, like, there is physically no way to get you home for this parade tonight. And she said, you know, you're standing in the airport and you don't like cry or rage or whatever it is, but you're just in that disbelief of this can't be happening. And just she says she remembers that, like, assistant saying to her, there is nothing we can do. You need to make the call and tell your daughter. And it sucks, but we're in it together. Yeah. So, and I just think it's one of those, a PA wasn't doing the whole rah, it's okay, it's fine, don't worry about it, you know, no, it was like, it sucks, and it really does suck. And that was what I was thinking of when I wrote the post. So I think, like Cheryl said, it's okay for you to allow your feelings. And this is a really important part of processing of feeling the feelings and acknowledging how pissed off you are or how much of a setback it feels like. But the comfort for Cheryl and I, because of how we believe the universe works and life works, is that we know that no matter how crappy it might feel in that moment, it is happening for a reason, and it's pointing you towards something that's more aligned to the like the greater good for you. It's more aligned to you being even happier, or finding, or having the opportunity to find something that makes you even happier. Because sometimes we can try to hold on to something that's bad for us just out of habit. So often these things are an opportunity for us to look for something else that, let's face it, when we're just on the hamster wheel and we're going through the motions and we're just kind of making do and putting up with it because it's safe and it's what we know, we wouldn't necessarily always be brave enough to go, this isn't serving me, I'm going to look for something that serves me in a greater way. And sometimes our hand is forced to do that. It certainly was with my first marriage. It certainly is with Neil and this career change that he gets to now have. He now has the opportunity to look for something that is in his higher good now.
Absolutely. And this too shall pass. We know that whatever happens when life sucks, it's temporary. And things might not, like having deaths, like, you know, when you have deaths in the family, things may not be the same again as they were, but they're it's a new way. And this too shall pass. And, and we move on and we find things to make us happy. And it's just, that's life. That's the journey that we're all on.
And for whatever, if it helps people, like with Cheryl and I trying not to label things as bad or good, like that was really bad when that happened, and that was a really good, like it just is. It's just all part of the experience.
Yeah.
And labeling it as bad is only going to make you have, you know, sometimes, yes, things can be more challenging, but if you look at it and go, I'm going to grow from this. This is an opportunity. And I can't see what that is right now, but I know I'm going to be okay because this too shall pass. And I know on the other side of this, I'm going to come out a better person, and I'm going to come out a richer person for having had the experience. I'm not saying in that moment you're going to go, yes, brilliant, another death in the family, or yeah, great, I love redundancy. Like, it's not about that. It's just about knowing that something better, there's going to be another high, there's going to be another fun thing, there's going to be more enjoyment, more love coming your way.
Absolutely.
These are very quiet, so share, what are your thoughts on this? Like, what are your it sucks moments, and how do you deal with them? And does it make you feel better thinking it might suck right now, but I know in a week or a day or whatever, I'm going to feel much better, and I'm going to be able to see, you know, what this was all about, or what? Like, what's your thoughts?
Let us know. So the plan for the rest of the week is we talked to you yesterday about, we're going to now be letting you know when we're going live, and that's going to come from tomorrow, because we've got a couple of really, I don't know what day it is tomorrow, Wednesday. Tomorrow we've got a workshop, haven't we? So probably the Soul Squad will be in the house on Friday. And then from next week, we'll be letting you know which days we're going to be going live, but it won't be every day at 12:30. We're writing a book.
We are writing the book. So tomorrow we are presenting. So we're going to just give you the day off, because you've had a lot of work. And then, Friday, the Soul Squad. And then next week, lots of book writing. So by Friday, or on Friday, we'll publish to say what days we're going to be with you next week, so that you can get those in your diary, which will be exciting.
Absolutely.
And for those of you, so I'm assuming all of you now who watch us here get our weekly love letter and our Sunday affirmation. So every week we send you at least 2 things. So on a Thursday, we kind of send you what's new, what's hot off the press, what's happening, a bit of a lowdown of our week. And on a Sunday, we send out the beautiful weekly affirmation, which I'm hoping loads of you love. Loads of you tag us into it when you post it on your socials and things. I'm just looking for the link, which is amazing. So if for any reason you don't get the lowdown, you're not getting our emails, and you really, really want to be in our community because you'll get to hear about everything there first, then make sure you put your details in here and let us know, because on Thursday, watch out, because when that comes out, there's going to be something really special for our community to do with our retreat in November, our online virtual retreat. So make sure you see that.
Absolutely, Becky. When shit happens, how you deal with the journey makes us stronger. Absolutely. You just made me cry again, 5th time today. I really need to hear this. I know it will pass. It will. I know things will improve for today. I'm going to eat cheesecake and wine. Enjoy every morsel.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for sharing that. And like, you are allowed to feel your feelings. They are your feelings. Nobody can tell you not to feel a certain way. And it is how we experience our experience. It's just as Becky said, you don't choose the experience, but you choose how to experience it.
The experience.
So have an amazing peak of the week. Hump day.
Wednesday.
I've got rid of my greys. So now Cheryl and I are off to do some coaching, some brainstorming, and get the lowdown ready for you guys for tomorrow night. So Anne, sorry, just get Anne's comment there. People diagnosed with breast cancer, you have to go through the journey. You can't jump to the end. You can get the support along the way. And now I look back and my life has changed for the better because of it. And if somebody can say that from breast cancer, then the rest of us, when we're worrying about all the trivial stuff that we tend to make much bigger because we catastrophize it. So thank you for sharing that, Anna. We think you're absolutely freaking amazing balls, lady. Right, guys, have a wonderful peak of the week, and we will see you on Friday. See you later. Bye.